Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Lena and welcome to my channel. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about what you could do if you weren't accepted with Cambly, because right about now, many teachers are trying to apply to Cambly, and I actually have a very popular video that goes through the hiring process, and I get a lot of comments from that video about people not hearing back or not being accepted, and you know, what should you do now? So I want to talk about what you can do if you were rejected or if you're not hearing back from Cambly. You know, what are some things that you could do if that has happened to you? Now, if you don't know about Cambly and you just happen to come across this video, let me tell you a little bit about Cambly and why you might want to work for them. They're a great company for helping others to learn English, how to speak English. So people will come onto the platform and they're looking for somebody they could just have a conversation with so they can practice their English. And you know, sometimes they do have lessons that you can go through with students, or sometimes you just talk freely. So it's just a free talk, very casual way to, as an online teacher, to help somebody to learn English. And you know, it's very flexible. It's a great flexible side hustle or side job to have in this time that is very crazy. So it's a good backup plan, and some people use it for their full-time job. You know, you can teach many hours in a day because they do often have a lot of students on Cambly. So it is a great company to have in your arsenal. So Cambly is very competitive right now. So it's something to keep in mind. And that's one of the reasons why I'm hearing a lot of people say, you know, they haven't been hearing back from Cambly, or they've been rejected to Cambly. So when you go into the hiring process, you want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward, because many people are trying to apply to Cambly right now. So don't take it casually. Try your very best when you apply to Cambly. So let's talk about the things you should do from the very beginning, and then at the end of the video, I'll talk about what you can do if you've been rejected. Okay, so going into applying to Cambly, make sure that one, you have a nice atmosphere for your quote unquote classroom. So when you're meeting with your student, you want to make sure that you have a very good, stable internet, right? You want to make sure you have a nice clear camera, good lighting, so you don't have shadows. Right? Nobody wants to talk to somebody when they look like they're in a very dark and gloomy place. And you don't necessarily have to have a fancy background, but you do want it to be very clean and clear of distraction, right? So it could be like a plain wall, or you can dress it up to make it look more inviting. Now make sure that you are very enthusiastic. Now you don't have to be over the top enthusiastic because you're not trying to audition, but think about it. When somebody's very nervous about meeting with somebody about their English, they want to be with somebody who is very comforting and who can help them to relax. And if you are looking like you're not a very kind and nice person who doesn't know how to smile, you're probably not going to be invited to teach on their platform, and if you are, you might not get that many return students. So in your intro video, which is where you're really going to sell yourself, you want to make sure that you are putting a lot of enthusiasm into it. You want to sound like you really want to be there. You want to make sure you're smiling, the biggest smile that you have, right? And you want to talk about how you are a very comforting teacher, or you are very understanding of those who are learning. So you want to help guide them and reassure your students that you can help them with their mistakes, and that they should not feel uncomfortable about making mistakes. Something to that effect, to let them know and let the Cambly staff know that you are going to be a very good assisting teacher that students would want to book time with. Okay, so be enthusiastic, have a good smile, and be very reassuring and inviting in your presence. So along those same lines, you want to make sure that, yes, you can dress casually, but not too casually. Make sure that you are looking professional. You don't want to have anything that's wrinkled or low cut or just makes you look like you are anything but a professional in what you are doing. Okay, so you want to look casual yet neat. Now, to apply to Cambly, you don't have to necessarily be a native English speaker, but you do have to have a high level of English. So you have to be very clear, and you have to have good pronunciation, and you need to be able to have good sentence structure and grammar and all those things. So when you are applying, if you know that you can slip into sounding very kind of not very clear in your speech, make sure that you slow down and you are very direct and very clear in the way that you're speaking in your video. So when you are giving your introduction video, make sure you're talking slowly and clearly, pronouncing your words very clearly so that your student would be able to understand you, right? And not struggle. So be sure to talk very slow and clear and enunciate your words so that they can see that you would be able to be understood well by the students who are on their platform. So when you're recording your video, yes, you can record your video on a phone or on your desktop, but if you choose to do it on your phone, just keep in mind that you want to keep your phone in landscape mode. You don't want to put it in portrait mode. You want to keep it in landscape mode. So if you might not be thinking about that, but just in case you weren't, I'm here to remind you, keep it in landscape mode. Okay, so now let's say you've done all those things and you have not been accepted by Cambly, or you haven't heard from them, or you've been rejected by them. So one, if you haven't heard from them, you can actually email them, and I'll show you how to do it. So you can go to their webpage and you can go all the way down to the bottom and it'll say their help center. You want to go to the help center. And once you click on that, then at the bottom of the page again, you can submit a request. And that's how you would communicate and email to them, and ask them why you haven't heard back from them. And sometimes they might tell you like, oh, we're slow right now, or oh, you're at the top of our list. We just haven't been able to communicate with you yet. We're just waiting for the right time, or because they do have a lot of teachers or people who want to be on their platform, like I've talked about before. So they can have a lot of applications to get through. So you might just be waiting for them to get to the point where they are ready to accept you. And it's just nice to be able to hear, what they have to say about that. And it's nice to know if you need to just move on. Maybe if it is a rejection, maybe you need to move on temporarily. But if you do get a rejection, well, here's some things that you can consider doing. One, you can either wait for about 3 months and apply again, because after a while they let you apply again. So you can wait about 3 months and you can apply again. Or some people have been successful in submitting another application through another email. So if you feel like you really failed at your first attempt and you didn't give it your very first foot forward, your best foot forward, right? If you did not do that in your first attempt, then apply again with another email address. And then you can go through all the things that I talked about at the beginning of this video, of ways that you can make your video, your intro video, the best that it can be, because it is very competitive out there right now. A lot of people are trying to apply to Cambly, so you want to make sure that you put your best foot forward when you want to apply with Cambly. Now, keeping all these things in mind, there are a lot of teachers out here who are trying to apply. So maybe if it's not that you are getting, if you still are not getting accepted, then maybe it's just something about them having a certain number of teachers or tutors that are just like you, and they don't want to have too many people who are just like you, because then they won't have as many students who want to book times with you. So it's just a matter of knowing what they have on their platform and how to make sure that enough people get enough business so they're not just overcrowded, right? And then people are complaining because they're not getting any students. So don't feel like it is a failure on your part if you're not accepted. Just remember, there's a lot of people who might have this similar qualifications, similar interest, or similar style of teaching. So that all plays into how they pick their teachers. So that could be the case, okay? But you can always go move along. I did make a video about other companies that are just like Cambly or very similar to Cambly. And if you still want to teach online with a company that is like Cambly, please, I'm going to leave my link to the video up here in the cards somewhere, and you can click on it and you can find out about other companies that are very similar to Cambly that you can apply to and have another chance, another opportunity to work and teach English to adults and children online in a very casual setting in a conversational style. So yeah, check it out. So these were my tips for you if you have been unsuccessful in hearing back from Cambly or being accepted with Cambly so far. I hope it was helpful. If it was, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a like for this video so that I can reach more people who are in the same boat as you, and it also helps my channel. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.